Global inflation, caused by COVID-19 and Putin's invasion of Ukraine, has made cost of living a real challenge for lots of people.
Justin Trudeau's plan to deal with the cost of living will only add to inflation. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist with the Toronto Sun. It's been more than a year that Justin Trudeau has been urged for his government to do something about the cost of inflation. Brand new Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has been raising this issue for close to 2 years, and it was in the middle of the last election that inflation really popped for most people, back when Trudeau said he didn't think about monetary policy.
You'll forgive me if I don't think about monetary policy. You'll understand that I think about families.
When he was asked, should the Bank of Canada continue to try and keep inflation in check, he smirked, he smiled, he shrugged his shoulders, said, I don't think about monetary policy, I think about families. Problem is, monetary policy affects families because if inflation, which is often driven by monetary policy, is going up, then family budgets get squeezed. Cost of groceries goes up, cost of gas goes up, cost of housing goes up, cost of clothing goes up. Your basic essentials cost more, and for most people, well, your pay doesn't rise with it. And if everyone's pay rose with it, suddenly there'd be even more inflation. So what's Justin Trudeau's measure to deal with this after more than a year to a year and a half of ignoring this issue? It's to say, we're going to put money in the pockets of Canadians so that they can pay for these price increases rather than doing what his government could do, which is deal with out-of-control government spending. Here is one of Trudeau's promises.
The first element of our plan is to deliver relief to millions of Canadians by doubling the GST tax credit for 6 months. This will provide hundreds of dollars of support to Canadians, including half of all families and more than half of all seniors in the country. For example, parents with 2 kids could receive up to an extra $467 this fall to help with the cost of living.
Well, that sounds great, $467 to deal with the cost of living going up, but to get that, you've got to be a couple with 2 kids and $35,000 or less in net income. Well, that's not very many Canadians. In fact, it's a very small percentage, but it's the biggest number that Trudeau can give. He's also going to offer a one-time rent subsidy of $500 to the lowest income Canadians who have completed their tax returns and filled out the proper paperwork. He's going to offer dental care of up to hundreds of dollars, but it'll cap out at $260 for people just earning just under $90,000 for a family income. Now think about that. If you've got 2 parents earning an average of $46,000 a year each, not unheard of, it's very common, well then you're not going to get any of that money for the dental care. So all of his programs are aimed at the people at the bottom of the ladder. And look, those are the people being hurt the most by the rising cost of inflation. But they're also the people who will spend the money the fastest, which will only contribute to what? Inflation. I'm not saying he shouldn't be helping these people. I'm saying he's doing it in the wrong way. Justin Trudeau has been warned for months to stop with the out-of-control government spending. His government has laughed at that idea and said, we've done our part. We stopped the COVID spending. Sure, but everything else, you've been spending more and more well above the rate of inflation, and they continue to do so. We've had Scotiabank, the Bank of Montreal, the former governor of the Bank of Canada, David Dodge, and CIBC warn about this. In fact, CIBC recently called the government's plans a recipe for inflationary fire. They're only going to add to inflation with these measures, which means in 6 months, when many of these measures end, you know what's going to happen? The people at the bottom run of the economic ladder are still going to be facing higher costs than they should, but the government will have withdrawn support. And if they don't, then it becomes a permanent fixture feeding into more inflation, but not helping the people in the middle. If you're an average family, there's nothing that Justin Trudeau has put forward that's going to help you deal with the rising cost of food, clothing, housing, gas. None of it. This is smoke and mirrors, which is mostly what he knows. he could be acting in a way that most top economists say would work, which includes cutting back on non-necessary government spending. But that is one thing Trudeau won't do. He is a tax and spend liberal. This is his entire identity. And his reaction to the inflationary crisis just proves it. When most people are saying government spending too much, he says, let's spend more to solve the problem. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.